Hey, what's up guys? Gons here for the Face Like the Sun Resurrection channel. Just want to make a very quick video and summarize all the craziness happening with monkeypox and just give you the facts. I'll give you my opinion about the situation at the very end, but let's start with all the facts. Now, we've covered a lot about this in the last few episodes of Canary Cry News Talk, so do go to canarycrynewstalk.com where you can find all of our sources and links to everything that we talk about. Now, it seems like the mainstream media and the World Health Organization and the CDC and Bill Gates and everybody is shifting from COVID over to monkeypox. And there's not a whole lot of people buying it, at least not the people that I know. Let's look at some facts. This is the Nuclear Threat Initiative website, NTI.org. They published a report on November 23rd titled Strengthening Global Systems to Prevent and Respond to High-Consequence Biological Threats. It states in the article that they did a tabletop exercise on reducing high-consequence biological threats back in March of 2021. I will have links to the full report in the description section. Remember, this is an exercise, a simulation similar to Event 201 before coronavirus spread, quote-unquote, all around the world. Here's the executive summary from this event. And the most important part, the exercise scenario portrayed a deadly global pandemic involving an unusual strain of monkeypox virus that emerged in the fictional nation of Brinia and spread globally over 18 months. Ultimately, the exercise scenario revealed that the initial outbreak was caused by a terrorist attack using a pathogen engineered in a laboratory with inadequate biosafety and biosecurity provisions and weak oversight. By the end of the exercise, the fictional pandemic resulted in more than 3 billion cases and 270 million fatalities worldwide. Now remember, this happened in March of 2021, and their own website, NTI, didn't publish the report until November 23rd of 2021. Those of you who have been tracking with Canary Cry News Talk for the last several months would know that back in November 4th, 2021 to be exact, Yahoo News, mirroring Evening Standard, published this article. Bill Gates warns of smallpox terror attacks and urges leaders to use germ games to prepare. It is hard for me to believe that Bill Gates did not know about the Nuclear Threat Initiative simulation, the germ game that happened in March. It's very interesting that he would call for a smallpox germ game in November. And in this article, Bill Gates is quoted as saying, quote, "You say, okay, what if a bioterrorist brought smallpox to 10 airports? You know how would the world respond to that? There's naturally caused epidemics and bioterrorism caused epidemics that could even be worse than what we experienced today." I want to highlight, again, Bill Gates talking about bioterrorism, smallpox, and 10 airports. It's very important to keep in mind. Just a few days later, on November 17th, 2021, the independent.co.uk published this article, Unapproved Vials of Smallpox Found at Pennsylvania Lab. And back in November, we said, oh wow, Bill Gates comes out and says we need germ games about smallpox, warns about bioterrorism, and then all of a sudden, just a couple weeks later, we have questionable vials labeled smallpox discovered in a Pennsylvania vaccine research facility. Again, these are just facts that are published in mainstream news. So November 4th, 2021, Bill Gates warns about smallpox and bioterrorism. November 17th of 2021, the FBI starts investigating a bunch of vials labeled smallpox at a Pennsylvania vaccine research facility. And then on November 23rd, just a week later, the Nuclear Threat Initiative publishes the report about doing a germ game about monkeypox back in March. So when we go to more recent stories like this one from the LA Times, headlined Sex, Rashes, and Outbreaks, A Rational Guide to the Monkeypox Risk in California, we don't see bioterrorism mentioned. However, we do see lots of people getting it through travel. It says here, the person who recently traveled to Europe is isolating at home and isn't in contact with other people. So he's isolating, just like we were taught how to do during COVID. Later in the same article, why are we hearing about monkeypox now? It talks about the case in Sacramento, the case in Massachusetts, and the 4 other presumptive cases in Utah and New York City and Florida. All 5 involved men had recently traveled internationally. Oh, you mean maybe had gone through some airports? Just like how Bill Gates outlined in his potential bioterrorist attacks? Interesting. Similarly, it talks about the cases in Nigeria, quote, some have traveled to other countries. And one more time in the LA Times article, quote, some of those believed to have monkeypox in the U.S. had traveled. at the end of April and showed their first symptoms in early May. So those are some brief facts. And of course, due to this whole thing, the U.S. secures option to purchase millions of monkeypox vaccine doses from Bavarian Nordic. And I thought Bavarian Nordic was an interesting choice, given that the historical record shows that the original official, quote-unquote, Illuminati in history are called the Bavarian Illuminati. Now, part of this deal with Bavarian Nordic involves a $119 million contract with Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, BARDA, to convert bulk vaccines into freeze-dried doses. And then there's the company called Chimerix. Yes, from the word chimera, the pharmaceutical company Chimerix, and their smallpox vaccine also getting involved in helping out this alleged breakout. My opinion, I think they're going to push this monkeypox thing as far as they can go. The public is well trained on what to do in an emergency or some kind of epidemic or outbreak. And I don't think it's going to be long before we start locking down due to monkeypox, as some countries have already started. I pray this thing doesn't work for the elite and it just goes away and everybody wakes up and pushes back against it. But we can't do that unless we have the proper information first, the facts. And that's what I wanted to lay out for you here in this quick video. Please share this video with friends and family. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Have an awesome day. God bless.